Our cover story tonight is from Pakistan's Sindh. China is deploying troops in Sindh, troops from the People's Liberation Army. They are in the Thar region, just 90 kilometers away from the Indian border. This information has come from the Indian intelligence agencies, and this is what we know right now. The PLA troops have been deployed to guard the coal mines of Thar. The Thar region is located inside the Thar Parkar district of Pakistan, just 90 kilometers away from the Indo-Pak border. Several Chinese projects are on in Sindh. They face stiff opposition from the locals there. Sources tell us that India's border security forces have noticed the movement of Chinese troops close to the border. What does this indicate? Nervousness on the part of Beijing. They're worried about the safety of Chinese projects in Sindh and Balochistan. Local protests are intensifying. Now, whenever the Chinese invest their money, they hold all the cards. That's particularly true for Pakistan. When Beijing agreed to invest in Pakistan, it wanted the Pakistani army to guard the projects. But it seems that China is losing faith in the Pakistani security establishment, and they've decided to take matters in their own hands. Pakistan is said to have deployed 17,000 soldiers for the security of CPEC, and this includes their special forces, but Beijing is not impressed. An attack on a Chinese consulate in Karachi last year made matters worse. It put a question mark on the ability of the Pakistani military to secure Chinese interests. In November 2018, 3 armed gunmen tried to raid the consulate. The attack was carried out by the Baloch Liberation Army. It's a rebel group that demanded independence of Balochistan from Pakistan. After the attack, Beijing wanted Islamabad to guarantee the security of its citizens in Pakistan. The stakes, remember, are very high for China here. The China-Pakistan economic corridor is spread across 3,000 kilometers. As of 2017, the value of this project stood at $62 billion. The project has led to increased movement of Chinese citizens in Pakistan. Close to 60,000 Chinese are believed to be living in Pakistan. The crowning jewel of this investment is the Gwadar port. More than $1 billion being pumped into the sleepy town to turn it into a global trading hub. But this project faces the biggest threat because Gwadar is located in the southwestern coast of Balochistan, a restive province. The atrocities committed by the Pakistani army here have not gone unnoticed. Forced disappearances are a common affair in Balochistan. Pakistan's military is accused of illegally detaining 19,000 men, women and children. Many of them have been raped and killed. Bodies of many of these detainees were later found from mass graves. That is the state of affairs. It's been more than 5 years since China and Pakistan started the crucial China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, or CPEC. It was pegged as a game changer, an avenue of economic development for the people of Balochistan. But it seems China has only furthered its own economic interests in this area. And that's something that the Baloch are now protesting.
The China-Pakistan Economic Corridor starts on the Pakistani-Arabian Sea port of Gwadar and goes into China's Xinjiang region. Balochistan is crucial to the success of the multi-billion-dollar China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, or CPEC. But many sections of the Balochis want none of it. They're up in arms against what they see as Beijing's attempts at exploiting their natural resources without creating jobs or assets for the Balochis. Baloch activists who are opposed to China's growing presence in the region believe that in pursuit of its economic interests, Beijing is supporting Pakistan's army in its efforts to crush the Baloch movement for independence. The Balochis view Chinese investment in Balochistan as usurpation and exploitation of their resources. They believe that the Chinese projects are aimed at colonizing Balochistan and they must be resisted. The launch of the CPEC project has led to a number of attacks against Beijing's assets, significantly impacting the economic projects. In 2017, a Chinese couple was abducted from Quetta and their bodies subsequently discovered in the Balochistan town of Matsung. In August last year, a suicide bomber from the outlawed Baluchistan Liberation Army attacked a bus carrying Chinese engineers in Baluchistan. The attack was significant as it was the first time Baluch separatists had used suicide bombings to target the Chinese in Baluchistan. Then in November 2018, the Chinese consulate in Karachi came under attack, with 3 gunmen trying to enter it and killing 7 people in the process. And again, the Baluchistan Liberation Army took responsibility for the attack. The Pakistan Army increased the security cover to the Chinese establishments after the attacks. But the Baluch separatists have been unrelenting and plan to continue targeting the Chinese presence in the area. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.